I'm Kimberly Washburn, Curator of Education at the Florence County Museum. Welcome to December's holiday Family Day at Home. Today we're going to be working together to decorate a gingerbread house. You're going to need to gather a few things from your Family Day at Home kit. You're going to need your gingerbread house on the card and the kit of candy and icing from your Family Day at Home kit. We have chocolate chips, mini marshmallows, M&Ms, shaped sprinkles, Twizzlers, gumdrops, and you'll also have candy canes and peppermints. You'll also find a small bag of icing. So this icing is going to be the glue that holds everything to your gingerbread house as you're decorating it. So let's go ahead and get our icing ready to use. Your icing comes in a cone-shaped bag that is closed at the end. At the tip of it, it's closed. So we need to cut a little hole in that so that we can squeeze our icing out of the bag. So remember, when you're cutting the tip off of your bag, that if you cut it really close to the tip, you're going to have a much smaller, thinner line of icing than if you cut it farther up, because if you cut it farther up, you're going to have a bigger hole, which is going to give you a larger amount of icing coming through at once. So I'm going to try to cut sort of a small one. One thing to remember is you can always cut your hole bigger, but you can't make it smaller again. So I suggest starting small, and then if you need it to be a little bit bigger, then cut some more off. I'm going to cut just about maybe 1/8 of an inch off that tip and give this a squeeze. And I can see on my finger that is a super tiny line. I definitely want it to come out a little faster than that. So I'm going to cut off about another 1/8 of an inch. I'll test out this line. That's much better. That's more like what I'm looking for. So you can test it on your finger or a paper towel. I'm going to just wipe that on my apron because I don't have a paper towel, so you should have one nearby. Okay, so now I can just start decorating. I like to begin by either using some bowls or a paper plate or something to dump all of my ingredients out. I like to be able to sort of separate everything and see what I have to work with. So I've got my marshmallows, my chocolate chips, I have M&Ms and some fun candy shapes here. I'm going to separate those out. That way I can see everything really clearly. That'll help me make decisions about what I want to put where. Okay. Oops. Things want to roll around a little bit. And some Twizzlers and gumdrops. All right. So now I know what candy options I have. I'm ready to start decorating. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is start adding icing. My icing can be a decoration all on its own, so I can create shapes with the icing, or the icing can just be used as glue. So you can use it in both ways. When I hold my icing bag, I'm going to hold it in my hand near the rubber band. I'm not holding it up near my tip like a pencil. If I try to hold it like this and then squeeze it, only a little bit's going to come out. But if I hold it way far back here and squeeze it, I'm going to be able to move all the icing down more consistently. So I'm going to start just by decorating my roof. I'm going to add some little roof shingles here. Just drawing with my icing. I'm just pressing the tip of my icing bag right onto the roof of my graham cracker house, graham cracker gingerbread house. So I'm using the icing to decorate. So now I just have some nice decorations on the top. Now if I wanted to add some candy roof tiles to that, I could. I'm gonna finish up the other side the same exact way. It takes a little practice to get good at piping or squeezing out the icing. I always find it very tricky, especially at first, to get the hang of it. But I tend to get a little bit better as I go along. So feel free to practice on a sheet of paper or something. Okay, so now, pretty happy with those roof decorations. I think I might want to add maybe just a little chimney onto my roof. I'm going to put a little icing there as some glue. I'm going to add a gumdrop chimney on the side there. So my icing just glued that gumdrop right to the roof, and I have a little gumdrop chimney. Now, I might want to add a door to my house. You can add a walkway. Imagine that the cardboard that your gingerbread house is sitting on is kind of like a yard. And if the tip of your icing bag gets goopy or gloopy, just use a paper towel or even just your fingers and clean it off. That'll give you a cleaner line to work with. Your gingerbread house is completely your own, so I encourage you to use your imagination as you're designing your gingerbread house. Remember that your icing can be decoration all on its own, or glue to hold your candy onto the house. So I'm adding little stars along the outside of my doorway here, just to give it a little border. And I'm just going to keep decorating. Okay, so I've spent some time decorating my gingerbread house with lots of the different candy options that came in my kit. I've added decoration to all the sides. I've added a fun little pathway leading right up to the door of my gingerbread house. And the last thing I'm going to do is add some little drippy icicles, just like you see on the front, to the sides of my roof. And I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm just going to use my piping bag and coming right along the edge of the roof. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit, and then I'm going to let a little bit come down and then come back up to the top. Let a little drip down, squeeze to let a little drip down, and keep coming. And it creates a fun little icicle, drippy icicle snowdrift there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. If it breaks, if you squeeze too much and it breaks, then just start right back where you left off. It takes a little bit of practice. Icing is very tricky. All right, and I do still have some candy left. You can look on my tray and see that I do still have a little bit left, so I might want to add a few more little details here and there along my roof line. Maybe just a little bit here and there. But I don't have to use every single piece of candy that's in the kit. Once I'm happy with the way it looks, I can stop and allow my gingerbread house to dry fully. What a beautiful decoration on your holiday table or a mantle this holiday season. I hope that you enjoy creating your own unique gingerbread house masterpiece. Have a wonderful holiday.